Hi everyone, uh, this is today's trade recap. I took 3 trades overall, one in RTY, E-mini Russell, two other in Nasdaq. As you all know, I mark my level, previous day high, previous day low, and then key level. That's it. I marked my previous day high and then previous day low. Was basically this level, previous day high. With RTY, I took the trade in based on 5 minutes and 1 minute's confluence. The reason I took it in 5 minute, the reason 5 minute confirmed my bias that it's to the downside is because we end up creating lower highs. This is a second lower high. Let me show you all. You see, we end up creating lower highs. So this is lower high. This is a lower high. If we're in a lower high, lower low, that means the trend is bearish. And we were also testing the 5 minutes imbalance, testing the 5 minutes imbalance on E-mini Russells right here, and this basically was just retesting, and then I enter with the inverse fair value gap. You see this fair value gap that we end up testing, and we once as soon as we inversed it, uh, this fair value gap, we inversed it here, and then I enter with the retest of this bearish imbalance right here. My stop loss was above. I actually called this trade live in a Discord session, so people who were there, they also took it. I believe that they took it and sold it early. Excuse me. But I wanted to target the previous day low or new low, which was right here. So previous day low is here, but my target was right here, which it never came anyways. I end up selling my positions on this bounce here, and this was the trade recap for the E-mini Russell. I did actually, when I enter in the trade, I start mentioning that, you know what, now that I'm in this trade, the ideal target is this target, 448, and I still believe this is going to come and take this area. But in the meantime, I kind of said in a sarcastic way that, you know, this is a target it's going to hit, but I'm not going to hold to this target. I'm just going to sell our previous day low or in a drawn liquidity, which I sold on a below the previous day low. And I changed those levels, as you all know. Once we find our bias, I change the levels to those drawn liquidity. That's it. Mark your levels: previous day high, previous day low, key level, below key level, bearish, above key level, bullish. As soon as we find out our bias, change your key level and levels of previous day high or previous day low or next drawn liquidity to that area, so you know where is your trend heading. Now we're gonna go to Nasdaq. Same thing, previous day high, previous day low, which I later on changed it to drawn liquidity because I knew we were hitting the previous day low and our direction was to the downside. But something key level above this area, we were going to be bullish. Below this area, we were going to be bearish. That's it. When market opened, we start being below the key level, and I actually wanted to wait for some sort of imbalance to be retested. So, and this 5 minutes imbalance created, and then we retested. I didn't want it to long here, short here. Sorry, I didn't want it to short here just because the stop loss on 5 minutes did not make sense. So I entered on 1 minute, and my stop loss was above that bearish imbalance that you see here. This is a bearish imbalance. Stop loss was here. The reason I sold it early is as you can see it here, my target was this area, which is previous day low. Yes, which is previous day low. But it never hit our previous day low, and we bounced, and I didn't stay, I didn't hold on to my target. I also didn't want it to have some sort of bounce back, so I ended up selling my trade on here. It was like 1 to 1.5 or something, rest reward. On the third trade that I would like to improve myself on is that this trade was, as soon as we inverse this fair value gap, we created a bearish imbalance. I entered here. I entered with this actually in this candle, considering that if this is, you see the retest on here, so if we wanted to go up, this candle would have been enough for it, and then we would have pushed, but we did not push. Then we created imbalance here, so I entered on here. This was my reasoning behind it. My target was the same previous day low target. This target has been taken out, so and what I need to work on is I sold this prematurely as soon as we came back on here, and I just end up closing the trade pretty early. I didn't like the price action here, and I sold it somewhere like pretty light profit. I end up selling this trade pretty early. I should have waited. Maybe it's something that I need to improve on. That doesn't mean that whatever I'm doing, you all should do it. That doesn't mean that I'm profitable, you all should be profitable, but that's what it is, anyways. And as you can see, I call it pretty like we're gonna take this drawing liquidity and then we're gonna go. Do I think we're gonna bounce from here? Yes, we took the drawing liquidity, we filled the daily gap, and this is a textbook trade, as you can see it. Started creating lower, higher low. All right, this was today's trade. Thank you everyone for watching. Again, that doesn't mean that I'm making those trade recap. It works for me, and I'm just keeping myself accountable for it. It helps me on my journaling too, and I'm just posting my journey. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye bye.